Welcome, everyone, to That Kind of Nerds podcast, a weekly show where we break down what is going on in the nerdy world. I am CJ Mellon, joined, of course, by Josh Burns and Brian Thornton.
Before you start the show, we should probably acknowledge that it's a very special day. It's the anniversary, the 37th anniversary of Momma and Papa Thornton. It's today.
It is today. 37 years ago, they got married, and then 7 years after that, I came out.
The awesomeness that is Brian.
Yes.
Brian, your parents today, 37 years ago, they got married.
Happy anniversary, Papa and Mama Thornton.
Happy anniversary, Mom and Dad.
So I actually got to do something fun this weekend, and I actually got to see a movie. I just saw The Magnificent Seven. And I gotta tell you, I liked it a lot. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody.
Are you sure?
I'm sure I'm not going to spoil it. No, I will totally.
I don't know.
What's there to spoil? There's 7 of them, and a bunch of them killed people.
Well, the movie, the original is a cult classic, and CJ is basically famous for spoiling things.
Spoiling is the wrong word.
I thought,
ruining is the word you're looking for.
That's the word you guys are looking
ruins
for.
Things. Well, I said, he loves to spoil things because he hates fun. And this is sort of real time. Like, as we were recording the last podcast, Brian Roman chimes in on Facebook. And what he said was, for concrete evidence that CJ hates fun, see Foldymate, Fidget Cube, America.
So it's a good dig. I got no reply. He's absolutely
CJ.
right.
Stung you
the truest response ever.
Stung you in real time, CJ, is what just happened.
In regards to the Fidget Cube, Melissa texts me and she's like, if you don't get me a Fidget Cube for Christmas, you don't know me at all.
And what's funny is that Laura listened to the last episode and heard me support them for 2 and goes, that second one better be mine. I don't care. I don't care how much you love Brian. You cannot give him that Fidget Cube. It's mine. Okay, you can have the Fidget Cube.
Oh, okay. I'll get my own.
I would love to hear something else too for Laura's perspective for this, and I've complained about this before. The movie that
CJ, you never complain about anything. You loved Batman v Superman, and we're very, very in support of Suicide Squad.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I've never heard you complain about anything.
I'll tell you what, Laura, I don't go on Facebook right now. I'm going to avoid it until around Christmas time. So I don't know what happens on Facebook. Laura texts me and says, how much attention do I need to give to the fact that CJ is going to see this movie and wants to talk about it on the podcast?
All I want to say,
and I said, "What?" I said, "What's the problem?" She goes, "Well, do you want to see it? Because you know damn well he's going to shit on it and ruin it for you."
No.
And I said, you know what? Let's just. You probably don't. I'm not going to see it in the theater. And she's like, then I'll save my derision for another topic.
Well,
right. So then that's when I weighed in and said, don't ruin it.
So I would like the record to reflect it's a great movie and you should go see it. That's all I wanted to say. That's all I had. Now my gripe.
That's
right?
what you get for bringing up anything. Now you're gonna gripe. You just said it's a good movie. Go see it.
No. Gripe about the movie theater experience. No. Gripe about the movie theater experience. The movie was scheduled to start. My ticket said 5:15, and I sit down in my seat at 5:15, and then 30 minutes later. The movie starts. It is 8 o'clock when I'm walking out the door. That's 8 o'clock.
Brutal.
Half an hour of commercials and like only 4 trailers and like it's ridiculous. Can we please?
I mean, the trailers are 2 minutes long, right?
They're 2 minutes, and there's 4 of them.
You're telling me they did 22 minutes of non-trailer stuff?
Yes. Isn't that like? And one of them is like people eating cereal in this like terrible ad for some Hollywood front and center show and. A shameless plug for Honey Bunches of Oats, which is no business advertising at the movie theaters. Anyway,
no,
great
I don't
movie.
know about you, but I bring a bucket of Honey Bunches of Oats
Brian,
when I go to the
Brian,
theater.
it's the good
stuff.
stuff.
In Melissa's purse, and they bring the Honey Bunches of Oats.
You should see this ad. It's
right next to the Kung Pao chicken.
So anyway, I would just like to say, Laura, please at least agree with me on this. This is getting out of hand. The commercials before the movie, 30 minutes, bullcrap. Anyway, go see Magnificent Seven. It was magnificent. So now I like to jump. Now I like to jump into a non-pun ridden favorite new area that everybody loves. Brian, what is it? It's
Cape Talk.
So Josh was surfing the internet and he shared with us a trailer for Arrow Season 5, which is premiering on October 5th on the CW. I would love to hear your opinion on it, you guys, because I didn't finish Season 4 because I really didn't like it. So I would love to hear what you think about Season 5.
I like Season 4. I didn't, it wasn't my favorite superhero show season of all time, but I liked it fine. The trailer for this looks really good, and I really like that it's all about Oliver recruiting a new team, and there's some familiar faces. Certainly, it seems like there's going to be a villain that I recognize, a guy from The Wire and some other shows that we've seen. So I am very excited for Arrow Season 5. Arrow is my favorite of the superhero shows on TV. Although I did take Brian's advice and I watched the first 3 episodes of Supergirl. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'm working on it.
I'm the same way, too. I'm in this exact same amount of episodes.
But that show it's going to take a couple more episodes.
And maybe, since we're in Cape Talk, I figured I know I showed you guys the Arrow thing, and I do want to hear your thoughts about it, but I want to make sure that we get back to the Supergirl conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thoughts on Arrow first?
Please do.
I'm excited for Season 5. I wasn't terribly impressed with Season 4. It was a little bit disappointing for me, but this seems like they kind of... The new characters are injecting a little bit new blood. It seems like it's going to be cool and exciting, and they're introducing... Actually showed Wild Dog in that trailer.
That's what I was just going to ask you. How many recognizable people did you see?
A bunch. I mean,
and how excited should we be? Because Brian, I honestly, I didn't see anyone that I went, oh, this is that guy. I didn't.
I mean, like, they're introducing Wild Dog and Vigilante, which... I mean, they're not well known, but it's still pretty exciting. They're more
they're like B characters, or
they're like D characters, but they're very visceral. They're the guys. They're the Punisher. Like they'll shoot the guy in the face type of thing.
Gotcha.
So it should be interesting.
Which is what they're dark and gritty. That's what we need from Arrow.
They're dark and gritty.
Well, no, seriously. I mean, when you look at Flash compared to Arrow, it's a very there's a pretty strong juxtaposition there between light and dark. You know what I mean? And that's what we need from Arrow, right? When you think about the best seasons of Arrow, that's what they were. The guy from The Wire, who is he?
I don't know yet.
The villain,
so you
obviously.
really don't. You have no thoughts as to who he might be.
I have no thoughts
in the scope of Arrow, the Green Arrow.
He could be anybody. The thing that this show has done is they've taken not necessarily Green Arrow.
You're right. They really have looped in other DC and characters.
Have just put them all throughout the show. I have no idea who.
For the past year, neither of the two of you have been hot on this show at all. And Brian, you've been pretty critical.
Yeah,
I just gave up on it. I just stopped
get
watching.
it. No, I understand, right? But this is something that when we first started this podcast, this is a show that we talked about pretty frequently, and it's one of those things that I absolutely did not want to watch. I very nearly hard passed on CW shows altogether, and you guys convinced me that I need to watch them. So, I guess my question is, do you see this as a chance for Arrow to redeem itself from what you've been railing against, right? Because you've been, compared to the Flash, you haven't even been. It's not even
compared to the Flash,
right? And I like Arrow better. Season 4 was definitely an exception to that, but I want to know what you really think about its chances to really compete with Flash.
I really think this season is its chance to redeem itself.
It kind of needs to, or it's in trouble.
I don't think it's in trouble. I think the viewership is still going to be there.
I don't think it's in trouble.
I just think, I was not impressed with season 4. There was some stuff that it was just the villain was very lackluster for me. But this season seems like it's going to be very interesting. And it could absolutely get back up to Flash level.
I actually think, based on what we've seen in the trailer, and this is the last thought I have about it, is I think based on the trailer, this may be a 2-season arc.
It could be. There's a lot of stuff going on in there. Right. It definitely could be.
We honestly won't know either, too, because part of getting Supergirl into this CW universe is Flashpoint, which will change a lot of things in all 3 shows.
How do they connect it from a different network? How how do they connect it from a different
They
network?
explain that she's on a different Earth, the multiverse theory, so they can combine that Earth with their Earth pretty easily. They're doing a four-part crossover around episode 8 of Supergirl, Flash, Arrow, and Legends that I think is going to tie her
Shit,
into
now I
the-
have to watch Legends too?
You should
You
be
don't watch
watching
Legends?
Legends.
No, I haven't
Legends is
watched
good.
it.
Thank you for saying that, Josh, because you bring up a cool thing that the CW announced that's actually going to be happening this week, is that they are going to be launching an app that it will be available pretty much everywhere. Roku, Chromecast, Apple TV, Xbox, Amazon Fire, Android, and iOS. I mean, anywhere you can usually watch Netflix or Hulu or anything else, the CW app is going to be available. And what it's going to do, it is going to give you all the new episodes, right, of the CW shows. So we're talking about Supergirl, Flash, Arrow, iZombie, Supernatural, DC Legends of Tomorrow,
I thought
and many
Supergirl
more.
was off CW.
No, it's on CW coming from CBS.
Oh, okay.
So all the new episodes after they premiere are going to be available on the CW app. The details are a little sketchy. They may be gone. Like you may just be able to watch the latest episode. So if you miss a week, like you miss the episode, but all of it is going to be free. No login, no cable subscription, 100% free to everybody.
That's
and
pretty awesome.
they have a deal with Netflix after the season's after the finale airs, the whole season goes up on Netflix.
That's really solid.
like the day after.
I don't know if it's the day after. They just say that a few days after. Here it is. A few days after the season finale airs. They say a few days. The whole season will be
that
available
is-
on Netflix.
That's still
Pretty
really
awesome.
great. Like, that's a huge deal for cord cutters.
Exactly. It's a gigantic win for cord cutters because CW really isn't on any of the packages that I've looked at, and it's a little cumbersome.
It's on
to
the
use
more
them.
expensive packages, which you don't want.
Right, exactly. So this is great. It's entirely free to do that. Again, it's the latest episode, so if you miss a week, you've missed it. But this is coming this week, so check for it on your app store. And I would say go on to Netflix and go ahead and go. I would really recommend watching DC Legends of Tomorrow, Josh. You'll really like it.
It's very good.
It's very
Alright.
Doctor Who-ish at times that you'll
Okay,
laugh.
I'll check it out.
it's
Rory,
very Doctor Who.
Rory the Time Lord. You got it.
Who's playing a time master.
I know.
All right. Well, that brings our end to our new favorite section.
Cape Talk.
So Josh, you were so nice to us this week. You were on the internet pretty hard, buddy. You found some pretty awesome trailers that we just wanted to spend a little time putting some spotlights on them. So we're only going to talk about a few kind of short, brief impressions of them. So Josh, why don't you tell us what trailers we should be watching right now?
I think the first one I found was Flock of Dudes.
I love this.
And Flock of Dudes has some recognizable comedians. Chris D'Elia is in it, and it just seems like something that's pretty familiar to any guy who's been friends with a bunch of dudes since he was a teenager. So it looks hilarious. It's got a cast that you will recognize immediately. CJ, what did you think when you saw it?
I love the amount of talent is just crazy. Also, Hilary Duff is in this movie.
Yeah.
I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
It's a guy who's like a 37. He's a 30-something guy who's basically like a man child, because he lives a ridiculous lifestyle, and he basically blows it with his girlfriend, and everything about this movie looks hilarious. It's going to come out on September 30th, and then it's going to be on demand October 7th. So it's a very short release, but then you can watch it right away. I really want to see this. It looks like it's going to be hilarious. And yes, everyone, yes, go see this. It's great.
Brian?
I thought the whole concept of this guy breaking up with his best friends and doing the whole cliche things that you do when you break up with your girlfriend, like
Yeah.
he's talking to the one guy, he's just like laugh like I said something funny. He's just like okay, and then he goes over to the other guys like, what did he say to you?
I can't
was
be in the middle like this.
Really,
It's so
really
good.
funny. That's what sold me. I was like, all right, I'll definitely check this out.
Let's look. There was a few comedy wise. It was really just that one, and then Fist Fight, starring Ice Cube and Charlie Day. Charlie Day of It's Always Sunny fame, and the same guy that Brian just talked about being in the middle of things in Flock of Dudes. The guy from
Silicon Valley.
Kamal. Yeah, I don't know. I can't pronounce his name. From Silicon Valley is in both of these movies and makes cool little cameos in the trailers of both. But there's another one. Yeah, it's a bit more slapstick, but it's always funny to see Ice Cube just being angry about something. He just cracks me up, dude. Cracks me up.
He's always angry.
The really funny bit is that they're school teachers having a fight in the schoolyard on the last day of school.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Just as a theme, it's pretty awesome. So I thought those were cool. From maybe a bit heavier sort of drama perspective, I saw the teaser for Allied, which looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Brad Pitt, Marion Cotillard, espionage sort of. Brad Pitt does the World War II genre pretty well. So
yeah,
I'll take it. And then the only other drama, it seems like it's going to be a real sort of indie flick. Trespass Against Us. Michael Fassbender, Brendan Gleeson. This movie looks insanely good. It reminds you of the sort of nomadic community that Brad Pitt belonged to in Snatch, right? They sort of pikeys that sort of live in trailer park and move their caravans from here to there. That's kind of what
it reminded me of The Place Between the Pines kind of thing with Ryan Gosling.
Never saw it.
Oh, you never saw it? Okay. It was a similar movie of the relationship of father to son and like the criminal mind kind of being handed down generation to generation and trying to break that chain. If you haven't seen The Place Between the Pines, you should really see it. Not The Place Between Two Ferns. That's with Zach Galifianakis.
I get it. No, I get it. And I see what you're saying. For this movie, for me, these two actors in close proximity, it's going to be one of those things where it's a pretty tight storyline, tight cast. It's going to be all about dialogue, and these two guys are amazing. So I'm excited to see it.
But there's action in there. He drives a car through a house. There's a lot of...
I get it, but it's about sort of this nomadic tribe of criminals, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And so that's all. That's why I was talking about the setting that we saw from Snatch. It's literally the same people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a cool, so you're in it for the crime, and that's cool. But I'm talking about, I mean, really, they could make this a B movie, and any two guys could play those roles. But Brendan Gleeson and Michael Fassbender make it credible,
right?
In my opinion. Brian's like, I don't give a shit at all.
I wasn't. I don't know.
What didn't you like about this trailer?
I'm not a huge fan of. This just seems like one of those movies where there will be a shot from like a garden and you'll focus on like a blade of grass.
No. This
6 minutes.
This isn't what's that? Stupid.
I can't stand those freaking movies.
It's not that.
The trailer made it feel like one of those.
There's
There's maybe one explosion.
I disagree completely.
Yeah, did you watch the same trailer as us?
Yeah, I did watch the same trailer.
There's car chases, people
convinced.
shooting each other.
No, this looks much. No. I don't agree with you at all.
Okay, when you go see it and there's like a 3-minute scene of just the freaking Winnebago they live in and nothing happens, you let me know.
Like a Malick film?
Wait, are you saying like
to a Malick
Are you saying
film?
like a student art film? Is that what you're...
Malick? He's
yes to
comparing
yes to all of those.
That's ridiculous.
Did you hit your? I'm feeling like you didn't watch the same trailer. Michael Fassbender was in this movie, right? I just want to be sure.
I saw Michael Fassbender. I saw him.
Mad Eye Moody also in there too, right?
Yeah.
Mad
Eye Moody was in
Mad
there.
Eye Moody. He's in there.
I just want to make sure we were on the same page.
Brian, this reminds me of a pace of a very different movie. I'm like I'm only thinking of like movie with these other guys in it. So I'm thinking like it's not like In Bruges. It's not like Gangs of New York. But it's almost got a bit of a Guy Ritchie feel.
Yes.
But I think there's a bit more drama there. So I don't know, man. I think it's gonna be a great movie. I don't think it's gonna be something we see in theaters all over the place.
Yeah, this feels
you won't see
it's a Toronto Film Festival movie,
right,
so
but I'm thinking.
Oh yeah, that's another reason I was like, no.
There's this in one other movie I compared to the movie Drive.
I've never seen Drive.
Oh
yeah, it's a nice,
my god!
Come on.
Sorry.
Did we switch places today? What the hell is going on?
I'm not shitting on this. I'm just
No,
like,
just
No,
like,
no,
isn't
no.
that
It's just
like
like, how do you
Drive?
never seen Drive?
I did not see it. It was in the theater. I said,
No, it was barely
It wasn't in the theater at all. Nobody saw it in the theater.
and then I didn't see it on DVD, and now it was on Netflix, and then I didn't watch it
Brian,
on Netflix.
Drive
like,
is amazing. If only for it's got maybe one of the best scores. The soundtrack to this
on
film
point.
is unbelievable. It's ominous and it's emotional and it's
It
penetrating.
takes you
It's
through a
good.
huge roller coaster. It drives the film.
So look, trespass against us.
I
is-
see what
is
you're
it
that-
wasn't meant to be a pun.
saying.
There's this. I don't know. I tie it to that sort of emotional type of movie. That and there's the Dog Eat Dog. The trailer for Dog Eat Dog was ultra violent. The same director that did Taxi Driver, Hardcore, Raging Bull, Autofocus, American Gigolo, Paul Schrader. This is the trailer's hard to watch, and you know it's going to be raw, and that's kind of like going into the trailer. I saw Nick Cage and I saw Willem Dafoe, and I thought, it's going to be slapstick.
Yeah.
And it's much more sort of American Psycho, right? It's much more Drive than it is slapstick.
See,
I know they went over the top, but I think it's part of like Smoking Aces was ultra violent for the sake of being ultra violent, or Domino was the same kind of way. And I don't think it made for a bad movie. Brian doesn't give any shits.
No, see. You just made that comparison, and where I actually enjoyed Smoking Aces, I was not a huge fan of Domino at all.
No, but I'm saying the type of movie, they're the same thing. Smoking Aces, there was more shooting, but they're both violent for the sake of being like Natural Born Killers, and that was Oliver Stone, obviously. But these are all CJ. This is the same.
okay, hold on. I'm hem and hawing because to me, Brian, did you ever see the movie Super with Rainn Wilson?
No,
No. Okay.
looked terrible.
Okay. So
And I also heard it was terrible.
it starts
From
off with a
multiple
really,
sources.
It starts off with a really great premise.
Weren't you one of the people that told me it was terrible?
Yes. And
Okay.
that's what I feel is going to happen to Dog Eat Dog. It's a movie that starts off with this really great premise, right? It's about a guy who becomes a real life superhero. Anyway, it doesn't matter. His main weapon is a wrench, and it just first starts off with like disabling people and scaring them with a wrench, and then it's beating people's heads in and close-ups on a head being smashed in. And Dog Eat Dog has this over-the-top violence that literally makes me disgusted.
No, I get it, but think about a movie like I put it in the same vein as movies that are just extreme. Red State. Red State is another one that it makes you feel things because of how extreme the themes are. And American Psycho, again, I'm naming iconic films because I don't have a better sort of B movie to draw a parallel to. And we have to say anything with Nick Cage and Willem Dafoe is just a B movie.
Right. And I guess that's the problem, is that there's no movie that you can directly correlate it to that. Because I just feel at the end of this, everybody in the audience is going to be disgusted, and that was like the whole point of the movie. And you
I
forget
like
whole
the
plot
pedigree
line.
of the director, CJ. I like the pedigree.
I agree. Me too. But I feel like at the end of it, I just leave, and so will everybody, with just going, that was gross, and forgetting the topic and forgetting what everyone was supposed to be watching.
What is everyone supposed to be watching in a movie called Dog Eat Dog? You assume
The
people are gonna be
mindset
killing
of
other
the
people.
killers, the fact of once you're out, you never stay out, and that stuff.
CJ wants to make sure that their glasses stay half full the whole time.
It just makes me feel like I'm going to be upset about the movie, and I'll never see it. I agree what you're trying to say, Josh. I don't think they're going to execute that or live up to your promise
Look,
at
I
all.
really don't think many of the movies I've brought up, the trailers. Look, guys, I'm watching, and I appreciate the credit you give me for finding these, but I watch every trailer released on the internet, regardless of whether I was going to do this podcast or not, because I like trailers. I enjoy trailers. So I'm going to watch these either way. Everything that I've put up there, none of these movies are great movies. However, I think that as something you find for $4.99 on iTunes, or something that's free when it hits Netflix, these are absolutely movies that our listeners should consider as entertaining watches for at least one time.
I think Passengers might actually be a great movie.
Yeah, can we talk about that for a moment,
Doesn't that-
please?
Yeah, we can. My first impression was this was the movie they both agreed to do so they could do movies they'd rather do.
The one for them, one for us kind
Yeah,
of thing.
one for them, one for me. One for the studio,
Really?
one for
I
me.
think this is
No,
this is
I
their
think-
movie. You
no,
think this
I
is the studio
this
movie?
is their studio. This is a crap movie.
What?
I don't know.
Oh, it looks like
No.
shit. Looks like crap.
No.
Yeah. There's gonna
See,
be.
I
I'm hoping
think
there's gonna
this
be
is
some
gonna be good.
twist where Jennifer Lawrence is actually also a robot. Like I'm hoping that's what happens. Like Michael Sheen is from the waist down.
Wow, I am floored that you don't like this. Brian, please help me out.
It's Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence. I don't know what help you need.
But this is also directed by the guy who did The Imitation Game, and Lawrence Fishburne said yes to this. I don't know why you would be saying no to any of this. This movie looks
Okay,
great.
Great. It's the director of a movie I've never seen. Listen,
You haven't seen? Okay, fine.
no.
I said
See-
never mind. Move on.
I do things and have a life sometimes. I can't watch everything.
How many
just
movies
the
do you own,
superhero
Brian?
stuff.
How many movies do you own?
688 movies.
The defense rests.
Look, my problem. The synopsis for this movie: Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt are two passengers on board a spaceship transporting them to a new life on another planet.
Like Wally.
The trip takes a deadly turn when their hibernation pods mysteriously wake them 90 years before they reach I'm already done. This is ridiculous.
If I had to be trapped aboard a spaceship for 90
Of
years
course,
with
you'd want to
anybody,
be trapped there with Jennifer Lawrence. My
of course.
my point is, her skin is gonna melt off like Event Horizon. You know what I mean? It's just gonna be like a bad. Something ridiculous is gonna. This is one for the studio. This is not what Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence want to be doing with their lives. This is not. This. Come on, seriously. Jennifer Lawrence, Chris Pratt, Michael Sheen, Lawrence Fishburne, Andy Garcia. These are not. Other than Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence, these are not heavyweights. This is not.
Lawrence
great,
Fishburne is not a heavyweight for you?
Look at some.
Not anymore.
Go to IMDb and look
I know
at
he's
his
been in a
recent,
lot of other stuff.
Look at his recent filmography, dude.
He's still a
No.
heavyweight.
He's not a heavyweight.
No, he's not. I would not agree
Neither
with
is Andy Garcia. Neither is Michael Sheen.
I won't give you. I agree with you on that.
They're the same caliber, is my point. Lawrence Fishburne is a long time from The Matrix, brother. It's a long time since then.
I think the movie looks great. I actually want to see it real bad. I do not want to. Anyway, it's coming out December 21st. I'm going to be seeing so many movies on Christmas. I feel like I'm just going to drop my daughter off at my parents and be like, all right, my wife and I are going to the movies all day.
I will not be seeing
bye.
this in the theater.
I will.
that. Yeah, I will. Because Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
And Chris Pratt. I think he's A, dreamy, and B, hilarious.
Oh, so I want to go to some nerd news and something that we've all been dreaming about. A nerd wish is coming true right now. If you're a fan of Back to the Future 2, and you've been keeping your eyes on the internet, starting November 28th, a select few Nike locations will be having, you guessed it, self-lacing sneakers. It's reality,
I didn't need
guys.
to guess when you said
Not
Nike.
the ones.
It was really easy.
Not
to
the.
come
I
up.
know. Not the ones that they put on auction. These things actually have like a really cool look and design to them. There is no price listed for them, but quote, expect a very high price tag.
Yeah, like $1 billion.
I'll tell you what the self-lacing sneaker reminds me of. The Loot Crate DX that I received yesterday that had a die-cast DeLorean complete with an attachable lightning rod. It's on a shelf. I put it on a shelf. I don't have anything I own, Brian, on a shelf. My wife has
I
things
know.
on shelves. I took a bunch of stuff from one of her shelves and I just slammed it onto the other shelves on that rack. And I put my DeLorean by itself on this shelf. Oh, and I put the Flash hood ornament that we got in the regular Loot Crate
Mm-hmm.
on another shelf that was previously completely owned by my wife.
I was going to put it on my car, and then I read that I can't go more than 75 miles per hour.
No,
so I
it'll
was
blow
like,
off, yeah.
well, then I'm not the Flash.
What's
so
the
I can't
point
do
of
that.
having a hood ornament if you can't go faster than 75
It's a
miles per hour?
display piece. It's not for your car, really. Maybe it's for your electric car.
They can
What
go faster
goes-
than 70 miles
What goes
an hour.
slow? Those little K cars, they can't go faster.
Oh, the
than
K cars,
55.
no. But I mean, that's not the only electric car that you have.
Well, that's what I was meaning. Those stupid little things.
Since we're talking about Loot Crate, is there anything else that came in the Loot Crate that you were particularly excited about?
Yeah.
I got a Stark Racing t-shirt, which was awesome.
I will also like the record to reflect this was not supposed to turn into an advertisement, but we'll totally tell you how to get your own Loot Crate at the end of this. Go ahead.
The Stark
It
Racing
is now an
t-shirt
advertisement.
was very cool. We got Eleanor, right?
Yes.
Little matchbox size Eleanor. In the DX box, there was another. I don't know what it's from, but another cool shirt. There was a Baller Transformers messenger bag, like legit. You could carry it around with you all the time. It's got space for your laptop and everything else. Is pretty sick.
It's so much
The,
fun for activities.
Art from Mad Max Fury Road, a very thick book, which was pretty awesome. But the highlight of it all was the DeLorean. The DeLorean was the coolest thing I've gotten from Loot Crate thus far, and that beats the Suicide Squad belt I got last month.
Brian, what was the highlight of your Loot Crate?
I just said it, my Stark Racing t-shirt.
The Stark Racing t-shirt was dope, for sure.
Yeah.
Look, they were both solid Loot Crates this month. I don't understand how anyone listening to this show doesn't try it out for 1 month, because, man, this stuff is awesome.
So take Josh's advice and let's make this very easy for you. Let us give you money off your first Loot Crate, okay? Go to thatkindofnerd.com/loot. That's LOOT. And you can go ahead and get your very own Loot Crate and get some money off of it. Save some money. Let us help you. And then you help us by doing this. So we're just telling you how you can get great nerdy things. Go to thatkindofnerd.com/loot. You have until the 19th of every month to get your box. And then after the 19th, they're gone forever. You're never going to get the stuff that Josh and Brian just described. But you can get next month's and it'll have exclusive stuff inside of there. So please, thatkindofnerd.com/loot. Help support yourself, help support us, and just enjoy nerdy stuff. So on the techie side of things, this is actually something that I was really surprised that kind of came out. Google launched an app called Google Trips that will really kind of help you with going on a trip to someplace. So, for instance, my goal before I'm 30 is to go to Ireland. It's something I've always wanted to do, and I have really no idea where to start when it comes to stuff like that. And you can go to travel websites, or you could go to some place that will like plan your vacation for you. But I always hated that, and plus you have to pay money for that crap, and I'm not doing that. So I put in Dublin. I wanted to go to Dublin, and when you look at this app, it does amazing things. It helps you with making reservations. It talks about things to do. They even have day plans. And then they even give you like need to know things. So like if you need to know about shopping and about tipping people at a restaurant or going to the pub or traveling even too. So I was like, can I drive when I go to Ireland? Do I need to get some special kind of license, or do I take a taxi? Are the taxis safe? Like, what do I do? This really kind of guides you through how to take a trip to someplace that you've never been to before. And it's not just, for overseas. It could be your own hometown, or it could be a major city like Philadelphia or New York or Chicago or San Francisco, Vegas. So it really kind of helps you out. Have you guys...
Omaha. Are we naming cities? Can I?
Yeah, we can.
Tallahassee.
Josh, you are a frequent traveler and you go to some places. Have you taken a peek at this app at all?
I have. And it's a cool app. There are other apps out there that already do stuff like this. TripIt is the one I think of because it's integrated with my expense software. So
right. Oh, that's good for you.
If I chose to use it, it would outline every leg of my trip. It would help me organize it, so on and so forth. The thing that I really like about this app is that it's Google.
Right.
So it's already integrating really every other part of your life. And I'm sort of assuming that, a lot of the population has their Gmail tied into their airline accounts and their hotel accounts and all this. Not everybody has that, but I do. My assumption is, and maybe it's faulty because I don't see enough information about it, but my assumption is that regardless of whether you use Google Trips to book, it's Google's integration leads me to believe that you'll be able to import your existing reservations into this so that it will organize it whether or not you use this as a booking thing. So
right.
look, you asked. Yes, I am a frequent traveler. I do it professionally. I would probably no. I can say it unequivocally. I would never use this to book anything.
Sure. Okay.
But that's just because I know how to book everything, and I have all of my stuff is already integrated. I do it all the time.
See,
for people who don't travel like I do, CJ, I think this is an amazing tool to book everything, organize everything, have everything centrally located so that it's easy to access. You don't lose track of it, and you don't have to switch between 8 different apps to do it. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, the other thing that I wanted to do, again, just my trip to Ireland, was I wanted to go to Belfast and see some sites about the Titanic. 'Cause, yeah, I'm that kind of nerd. And one of their day plans is called Titanic, the Unsinkable Liner, and it's 5 sites. It maps it out into order in which you should do it, and kind of gives you reviews and a guide and a timeline, so you know how long to spend at each location and guide you from place to place, and even tell you how to travel between them.
Yeah, and when
really
you
a
add it
poor
all,
title.
when it added all to your calendar, after you're done putting everything in, the app grizzle boxes you a fanny pack that you can wear the entire time and look like a fucking American tourist.
Grizzle, you just went Parks and Rec on that. Holy shit!
I sure did. Yeah, the app it goes ahead. It assumes that you are super American guy who needs a fanny pack.
That's terrible.
To walk around. Listen,
I don't know if you're making fun of me or the app
CJ,
right now, but I feel like you're making fun of me.
I am making fun of you, but only because I love you. And let me look, before you go to Belfast, I need you to connect with me for a bit. I got a buddy that's been there a bunch of times. I feel like you'd walk into the wrong neighborhood and really end up in a bad way. A buddy of mine ended up in a bar on the wrong side of town and was able to maintain. But he knew he was in the wrong place.
Yeah, I would go to Jenny.
Belfast is not. But look, Belfast is not a place you want to just be a tourist. So
no,
please.
And that's actually in the things to know. It's like, don't go to this place, don't go to that place, don't even think about being here at this time of night or this time of day. Don't do this, don't do that.
Don't scream, I'm king of the world.
Brian, I'm going to go to the Titanic exhibit and absolutely yell, I'm the king of the world. So Oh, I don't care if I die. I'll die a happy guy. Believe me, I'm quite okay with it.
I want you to yell, don't you let go.
I'll never let go, Jack.
Brian, I know you've been suspiciously quiet, and I know that we've talked about you don't have a go bag or anything. And now that you're 30, are you planning any kind of travel? Are you ever going to use this app?
Is this app going to tell me the most efficient way to get to my kitchen and back? Is there like stops along the way?
I'll tell you what, you could use Google Maps. You could use Google Maps to get from one end of your palatial estate to the other.
I did double check. The need to know section explicitly talks about felines within the location.
Well, interestingly enough, CJ, before we even get into what Google Trips says about it, I was using Waze the other day in Brian's palatial estate, and there were two notifications of where the felines were. So what's funny is all the people that mill around but Brian's palatial estate will notify you where his very few cats are. There aren't enough that there's a ton of notifications, but they're real time because Waze is awesome, and you see that. You know that the cat to mail ratio still is very low, but at least you're notified as to where the cats are.
That's a wonderful feature. God, I love Waze.
So just for a bit of levity here, we have the most lewd-sounding town names in each state, of course, published by Thrillist.
And I will applaud them for not numbering and then skipping numbers on this one. I appreciate that.
No, they didn't do that. But, I mean, they did list some pretty solid town names across America in here. Anybody see anything? Balltown, Iowa.
Oh, I didn't see that at all.
Balltown, Iowa didn't Cumming, Iowa, Fertile. Well, Iowa has Hard Scratch, Inwood, Manly, and Sac City. Iowa wins.
All in Iowa. That's all Iowa.
My retirement town is in here. Blue Ball, Delaware.
Blue Ball, Delaware. Look, Minnesota's got Keister.
Good old Pennsylvania has Big Beaver, Blue Ball, Black Lick, which, okay, cool. Hop Bottom, obviously Intercourse.
Right, we all know Intercourse.
Rough and Ready, which, what? Rough and Ready?
Whoa. Dick Shooter, Idaho?
How about Sugar Tit, South Carolina?
Tell me
Sugar
Wait,
tit.
is that seriously? Is that
sugar
in there?
tit, sugar tit, sugar tit. I can say it because it's a city.
Tell me that's not true.
No, it says sugar tit.
It
Right
is
there.
sugar
I'm-
tit.
Sugar
Oh
Yeah,
my
tit,
it's
gosh,
there.
South
sugar
Carolina.
tit.
Yeah,
Right after Fingerville.
right after Fingerville.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh.
How about Big Chimney, West Virginia? Bald Knob, Beach Bottom. They got a place called Brohard and a place called Conception. Brohard, Conception. They got a town just called Knobs. Only there's one called Long Pole.
I just want to say
West,
Long Pole.
West Virginia wins with Oregon Cave, Pickle Street.
These all sound like the beginning of a Benedict Cumberbatch joke.
Dude, it's bad. This is bad.
Like
other
I'm
than-
alone. Hold on, Wisconsin. I'm alone, Wisconsin.
Other than McNutt, Wyoming, I'm not really sure we get a whole lot better. So, people, we're gonna post the link in the show notes. But if
I don't know about
and
you,
listen,
but I'd like to be from Short Pump, Virginia.
listen, I've been to Short Pump, and this place is like a retail mecca. It's amazing. It's got like a ton of crazy little. Assawoman, Virginia is a nice place to be. Well, at least I think.
Have you ever been to Nutbush, Tennessee?
I have not been to
I feel like-
Nutbush, Tennessee.
I feel like this is a
Nor-
list a 13-year-old boy made up for like
Nor-
name your city
nor-
on Sim City.
Nor have I been to Hump Tulips, Washington. But it's a place. I think
Please?
everyone should look at this list. I apologize if you're from Coyote Hole, Nevada. Coyote Hole. Who would do that? Like, who would say, you know what we should name this town? Coyote Hole. This is a guy that lost the Fantasy Football League the year before and had to name his town. Splunge. Sweatman, Mississippi.
Ramtown, New Jersey?
Yeah, man. There's a place in Michigan just called Dick. It's just Dick. Just Dick, Michigan.
Oh my god. Oh, that was a
I don't
good
know
laugh.
about you, but I'm thinking of a road trip to Clappers, Minnesota.
Blowing Rock, North
I've
Carolina.
seen more knob lick, mud lick, crack lick. I've seen more licks in here than I care to. There's a Lick Creek in Illinois.
Stumpy Point, North Carolina.
Hand Place, Idaho. What happens in Hand Place? Cream Can Junction. Oh my God. Look, everybody needs to go to this site. This is insane. I can't even. This is crazy. Cocked hat. Midnight Thicket. I just saw Midnight Thicket.
I'm just
Delaware.
going through here hoping there's a gaping chasm,
There
Georgia, or
is
something.
not a gaping chasm anywhere I saw.
That's so
Miner's Delight.
I really feel like I would call you guys a lot of these names.
That's what I'm saying. These really seem like I can't believe they're real.
CJ,
Wait,
stop
wait,
being
wait.
such a
There's
sugar bush.
Apparently, there's also a Rough and Ready in California. Is it like a club? There's a 3-way Arizona. I gotta stop.
These have to be real. These are real, right?
Manly Hot Springs,
Where?
Alaska.
Where were
Manly,
you said Rough and Ready, California, right?
Rough and Ready, California, and there's a Rough and Ready, Pennsylvania. As
Hold
well.
on. I'm googling Rough and Ready, Pennsylvania. I want to see if it's
Rough
real.
and Ready, Pennsylvania is a village in Upper Mahantongo Township, Schuylkill County. It's
Oh
not
my
even
gosh.
far from here.
Hold on. Let me get directions. Directions from where I am.
It's an hour away, CJ.
Right outside of Harrisburg and Hershey.
So we could all go to Hershey, ride the roller coasters, and get a drink at Rough and Ready.
I'm not ever drinking in a town called Rough and Ready, brother.
Well, then you are neither rough nor ready, my friend.
That's true. You will never see me in leather or assless chaps, and I can never be described as rough and ready.
All right, so Josh, thank you so much for going on the internet. Otherwise, I feel like we wouldn't have had anything to talk about this week. I want to thank everyone for joining us, and there's so much to talk about. So first thing, if you haven't listened to our other podcast, Hey Did You See, we just wrapped up, or going to wrap up this week, the season 3 of Sherlock, and then we're going to start talking about Stranger Things. So go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and talk about it because Stranger Things is going to be so much fun to talk about. It's me, Brian, Josh, and Craig Newcomb, who did Game of Thrones with us, talking about television week by week. So I'm really excited to share that with you guys. Please go ahead and subscribe and help us out. Also, help out the website and help out this podcast by going to thatkindofnerd.com/loot and getting money off your own loot crate. Josh has given you so many good reasons to do it. Just go ahead and do it, damn it. So I want to thank you so much for listening and making us your walk around your neighborhood or your drive to work. We will see you guys next week.
And Chris Pratt. I think he's A, dreamy, and B, hilarious. I feel like I'm flying.
You can visit us at our global headquarters in Rough and Ready, Pennsylvania.
Pretty sure you just drive in and the Deliverance music starts playing.
Let's get this show on the road.